Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creating a Culture of Innovation podcast. I'm your host, Roman Garcia, as usual, and I've got another business leader who's cultivating a culture of innovation within his business, Boris Musheyev. Boris is the founder and president of his own CPA, or Certified Public Accountant, which helps today's entrepreneurs cut taxes by tens of thousands of dollars and helps them by building wealth by using proactive tax strategies. He got some pretty cool stuff going on his YouTube as well. So first of all, thank you for coming on, Boris. Welcome to the show, and how are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thanks, Roman. That was quite an introduction. I can tell you were practicing.
Yeah.
So I'm humbled. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
Great to have you, Boris. Anyone willing to share knowledge like yourself is welcome here. For those of you that don't know, as I mentioned, Boris is also runs a very informative and fun YouTube channel, which I encourage you all to check out. I'll make sure to include it in the description as well. But without further ado, let's get right into the interview. So first, Boris, tell me and the audience a little bit about your business's mission statement. What does your CPA do for businesses around you to help them succeed?
Cool. All right. Awesome. So just a little clarification. I am by nature or by trade a CPA, Certified Public Accountant, but not a traditional. So we specialize in tax advisory, means tax strategies and tax planning. So really it has to do with tax planning and advisory. And the way we help business owners to save money on taxes is not just preparing taxes, but really doing proactive tax planning and providing a tax advisory services throughout the year. So average business owner, what happens is that they speak to their accountant once or maybe twice a year. And that is because that is a tax preparer. We come in as tax planners and advisors where we communicate throughout the year, provide tax planning strategies for business owners, and thus enabling us really help them save tens of thousands of dollars on taxes using tax planning strategies. And our mission statement is, and I didn't have it prepared, but really the mission statement is to cut taxes, build wealth, and really help business owners sleep better at night. And we actually have it written in our mission statement is that for them to sleep better at night, knowing, because a lot of business owners just have this burden of taxes. They're not looking forward to speaking to their accountant. With our clients, it's different. They're actually looking forward to speaking to us and having meetings with us because they know every conversation means tax dollar savings, and they sleep better knowing somebody has their backs covered.
Right now, at the time of this recording, we have about a month left in tax season. So I'm sure you're kind of in the thick of things right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, exciting stuff. What made you want to start your CPA? If you had like any kind of inspiration or any kind of figure that made you want to get into the industry?
Yeah, so when I honestly did not know what to do when I was in college, like what career I'm going to pursue, none of that stuff. My mom was a bookkeeper, and a best friend of mine said, "Yeah, I'm going to go be a tax attorney." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? Can you, like, how does that work?" He's like, "First, I'm going to go to school for an accounting, and then I'm going to go into taxes, become a CPA, and then I'm going to go to law school." I'm like, you know what? That sounds very interesting. Since I have no idea what to do, I'll just follow you. But I also really liked numbers because, like, reading is not as good for me as numbers, but even though I read the tax law all the time. So the numbers really speak to me. So I went to school. My first year in college, I went to H&R Block, knocked on their doors. I'm like, "You guys offering any courses? I want to start learning about taxes." And ever since then, my journey with taxes really have begun. And I graduated college with an accounting degree. Me and my friend, my best friend, were doing everything together. And then I went into the CPA route. I finally got a job in a CPA firm after graduating college, and I was really sucked in to the world of tax accounting, which something that I've always wanted to do. But to my surprise, it is not really the best thing for you, being a tax accountant during tax season. I was grinding through tax season, working crazy amount of hours, preparing almost 500 tax returns during tax season. Think about that. 500 tax returns in 3.5 months. And my clients, those who were business owners, were overpaying in taxes. Like, "Boris, is there anything that I can do?" And I was one of those guys, shamefully, to say, "You made too much money. It's a good problem to have. Just pay your tax and let me take the next customer." because I was working in the CPA office. So I was like, and I was working late hours. My son was born during tax season in February, my second son. And his first year birthday, my wife calls me during the day, like, are we doing anything for his birthday today? I said, I can't come home early, but I promise you we're going to be doing something. So at 9:30 p.m. I was home, and I said, the kids are sleeping. My first son and second, they're both sleeping. I'm like, we're taking them. We're going somewhere. We ended up going to a steakhouse for 1-year-old's birthday during tax season. Okay. So they obviously kids have no idea what's going on, but I just needed to celebrate my son's birthday. I was like, this can't happen anymore.
Yeah.
I'm too tired from my job. Don't really have any meaning in my job. And now my family is getting affected by this. So I've decided to go out on my own, but I did not want to start the same business that I came from when I used to work for the accounting firms. I wanted to start something different. And that's when I started investing more in tax education besides what the school teaches us, besides what the tax preparation teaches. So I've actually spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on educating myself more about the tax code, the tax planning, and tax advisory. And I've built my tax advisory firm based on that. And now we have tons of clients that we serve doing tax advisory, tax planning. And of course, we do their taxes. We do prepare their taxes, don't get me wrong, but their taxes are now being prepared based on the tax advice and planning that we've done throughout the year. And my inspiration has really been, I would say my friend has inspired me. And then these things that happened to me during my lifetime as going through this career. And I regretted a few times being a tax accountant, hands down. But then when I ventured out and started something different, that's when things made sense. And I love what I do. So.
Of course, I'm sure like the content itself is fun. As a right brain person myself, I could definitely relate. Like I love numbers and spreadsheets and all that stuff. And at least on the topic of your son, I don't know how old is he now, but I'm sure that was probably a memorable birthday, being woken up and just like all of a sudden you're at a restaurant.
In a steakhouse out of all at 10 p.m.
Yeah. All right, but that's pretty good to hear, and I'm glad you have kind of like found your spot in like kind of the tax education space. We ourselves love that education side, so we definitely have a good appreciation for that. So also, Boris, kind of on that road during your first start as your CPA, were there any kind of other big obstacles that you faced, and how'd you overcome them, and did technology play into that at all?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So when I was working for someone before, like in a CPA firm, when I was working for somebody, and a lot of things that as I was in this profession at that time, this was about maybe 12, 13 years ago, the technology was not as advanced today. A lot of things were still being done manually. And when I was working for one of the CPA firms, I remember very well, I came in and I guess I was born an entrepreneur, but I came up to the partner and I'm like, listen, I think the website is super outdated. We've got no Google reviews and we've got none of this stuff going on for you. And we do a lot of in-person appointments. We can really automate everything and have people come in, do their taxes virtually. So he actually gave me an opportunity to make those changes in their firm. And at that time, technology being not as advanced as it is right now, you can actually automate a lot more things that I did for the CPA firm. But as I was doing these things, I was like, wow, these things are possible to do. Like we were able to leverage the technology, meaning to say the SEO and the website and the Google reviews for that CPA firm. And we had more people coming in off the Google reviews. Hey, I want to sit with this preparer. Oh, I want to sit with that preparer, because they were reading good things about it. So when I went out on my own, I relied on technology a lot more because now I needed to go out and do client acquisition, get clients. And I was messaging people, whether it's on LinkedIn or other platforms, or people were messaging back. I was putting out a lot of content. I needed to automate these things. I needed to do auto reply, set up calendars, make sure they book, and we have an application. And the entire process in our firm actually right now is the entire client acquisition, I would say 70% of it is completely automated. And technology has played a big role in it. And with ChatGPT rolling out right now, I'm using it to my advantage like there is no other. ChatGPT plays a big role in us creating and putting out content on social media. It's not wrong what it gives you. But it's not accurate at the same time. You obviously need an expert advice to kind of fix it up. But technology plays a big role. You've got to work smarter, not harder.
Right. Have you had a chance to try the version 4 yet?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, we ourselves have like tweaked it around or tried it for some things, but I definitely definitely can relate to what you said about that. Like, yes, like it's great for like kind of like building the framework, but at the end of the day, like you'll still need the person to like engineer it or like review everything and then just like tweak it to your liking pretty much. And that seems to be how it's been going. And at least like on the positive side, that it's not going to be totally replacing people's jobs for a little bit at least.
Yeah, for a little bit, exactly. I think
Yeah.
4.0 will achieve that. I think once they open up their API to other companies, platforms, websites, and so forth, and those API will start integrating. I mean, the ChatGPT will be integrated with those platforms, and I do feel like a lot of jobs will be replaced because it's really having a conversation with just this AI individual. And you don't know it's an it, right? It's having a conversation. Like I give it prompts to do certain things, but it's like me talking to somebody in the office when I want to ask them to do something. I'm just asking an AI, and I have to explain to AI why am I doing this, what is the purpose, and how I want to, the content. Just like I'm talking to somebody in office. It's crazy, but yes, once the API opens up, I think it's going to be a disruptive, but also non-disruptive. I've heard somebody say this line. I think it was going on social media. I don't know who said it. I can't quote the person, but he or she said that ChatGPT will replace those that are not using it.
Yeah. Can totally agree.
I think that is so powerful, such a powerful statement.
Yeah. And also that, not to mention that, especially with like the competitors coming out right now, that I don't know if you got one, but I just got an email yesterday about Google's Bard, their version pretty much. So like kind of like once that competition comes in, like they'll probably be able to like learn from each other essentially. That actually sounds pretty funny now that I think about it. I wonder if anyone's going to be able to make the two AIs talk to each other and then that just improves it even more. That'd be pretty funny.
Well, there's plenty of AIs out there. Let me tell you something. I started following this guy on social media. I'm not sure if I can call him out or not. I don't even remember his name, but not on social media, on Instagram. And every week he puts out at least 10 AI websites that do all of these incredible things for your business.
Right.
Like it's just there's like something that can write your content, your vlogs, your copy, make your images, make your videos, all within just matters of minutes of your time. And you've got to jump on that stuff as soon as technology becomes available. I've always been a technology nerd. I have like my whole firm is actually built virtually and on the cloud because I've utilized the technology ever since from the beginning. When pandemic hit and a lot of firms, accounting firms, had to close or had to learn to adapt to virtual or change some of their processes, I had none of the problems. We were easily able to work from home, everything super secure via the cloud, and it was just because that is from the beginning. I learned to adapt to that because I knew technology is going to change a lot of things, and I wanted to make sure that I'm in the front of it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The same thing with us that, like Scott said, that he knew all this was going to happen at some point. It was just, we didn't expect it to happen so soon, but yeah, it was pretty much the same way that the second we had to go work from home, it was basically just like a switch. And it's cool to see that you were kind of on that same mind frame too.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. I think technology, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, technology has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. And kind of with the rise of technology and the rise of cybersecurity and the focus on it in the past couple of years, how are you securing those new business processes? And are you using any kind of new technology to do so?
Yeah, so I've always taken client security very seriously. But on top of that, IRS actually is on top of their professionals now even more than ever to make sure that everything you do is secure. And going back to when I started using technology, I made a rule for myself, and now it's a rule for the entire firm now that we have a big team, is that we never ask for any sensitive client information over the email or any forms or questionnaires that they fill out. And clients know that. We'll never ask you. If we need you to upload tax documents, it will be a secure link that is like something like Citrix encrypted or anything of that sort. If clients want to use email to send us tax documents, we tell them it's not a good idea, don't do it. But we can't control what they're doing.
Right.
But as far as us and having those systems, when we onboard a new client, we send a bunch of emails. Hey, you need to fill out this question, you need to do this, you need to do that. But none of that stuff, none of those questions have a sensitive information such as Social Security, asking for Social Security or EIN, because I know that everything is really vulnerable. It doesn't matter what software out there and all these so many platforms coming out in technology, secure forms, secure this, secure that. We can do our best, our due diligence. And I honestly do not trust anything that is out there. So the only time, because in our profession, we have no choice, we have to request personal sensitive information because we are tax professionals. So we would give them a very secure encrypted link to upload their tax documents. But everything else that we ask them outside the tax documents that has that information, there's no like sensitive data such as Social Security numbers or EIN numbers that we ask them to fill out on any forms or to send over the email or anything of that sort. We always use technology, but we've been careful about using it. We've been very, very careful. I mean, we hear about the hacks all the time, right? Credit card companies get hacked, or some password companies that hold passwords get hacked, or all these, like, they get hacked, and it's a normal thing now. People don't make a big deal out of it because it's just like, I feel like I don't make a big deal when I found out that something that held my credit card, it now got hacked, because it's just, I know it happens. And it's just that what resources and tools you use to secure it. But even that, in my personal opinion, may not be 100%.
Right. It's not necessarily if you're going to get hacked, but when, and then how you respond to that, and like have those kind of like backup processes in place to also take care of that. It's just the unfortunate truth. But like we got to do what we got to do nowadays. That if we can all kind of like bolster that kind of education, then like that'll make it harder for hackers in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much
and
it.
I think for a lot of business owners that might be listening to this as well, right now, is that also educating your team about it. We've had hackers trying to infiltrate our email system, our email, and I've been getting emails from so my wife works with me, here in business. I would say for me. Ooh, get in trouble for that one, right? No, but she really came in like 2 years ago. But she sent me an email. I'm like, this is not her, and it came from her email address.
Right.
And it's things to click on the links so they can infiltrate the email system. So we train everybody. Hey, don't click on. Even the clients sent us a couple of times emails that were not theirs to click on certain links. Like, we're all trained not to click on links, and try to put two-factor authentication on everything that we log into, if that provider offers a two-factor authentication.
Yeah, and if you're using Outlook, you can have that manual or customized note like at the top of every email received, that if you're receiving an email that's from someone that's not from your organization, it'll like give you a little warning just in case. Like it might say boss ABC is emailing you, but if you look at their email address, or even if it's like slightly different, it'll tell you if it's from the same network.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we don't use Outlook. We use Google Works. What is it? Workspace.
Workspace.
Yeah. But we do have two-factor set up. We do have trainings in the company, letting people know not to click on links or anything of that sort. Like, everybody has, because I learn about these things talking to guys like you, for example, right? That they're not learning about these things, right? They need to know. So like, I translate that message to them. And it's really, really important for every company to do that, I believe.
Right. Even just like regularly, just to like, check to make sure they're awake, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, again, you can't control it, but you've got to do what you've got to do. Like, you've got to do your part in it.
Any other message that you might have for other growing or aspiring tax firms looking to kind of like get into the space?
Yeah, absolutely. The message that I would, if I would give to me when I was starting out is that because when I went out on my own, it didn't start off, hey, tax planning and advisory. I had no idea. Like I decided to go out on my own, like start a tax business, but I had no idea that there is such thing as tax planning and advisory. And I would say the messages to these aspiring tax firms is that you just have to shift your focus from preparing tax return for business owners to preparing a tax plan and provide advisory throughout the year. The less clients you work with, the more you can provide for the clients. So obviously, it's very important who you work with and pick the right clients for yourself. And I would say that keep pushing. And tax law is really, really fun. You just have to make it work for you, and clients will love it. They look forward to meetings with you instead of not looking forward to meetings with you.
Right, of course. Yeah, make sure to stay up to date on all that kind of new stuff. I know that we've been speaking to you about the IRS WISP requirement. There's also like the FTC safeguards that's been updated, and I think it's going to be updated again in June, if I'm correct. What else is on the agenda for you and your CPA in the future?
For our firm, what else is on our agenda? So one of the things that I've been working really hard behind the scenes since last year, April, is creating a YouTube channel that provides like unvaluable, priceless content and tax strategy to business owners. And I'm receiving so much great feedback. We have about 25,000 views per month on our channel. And it makes me feel good about it, because the feedback that I'm getting is that people, hey, I've learned it, I understand it. It's a great content that you give. I pay less in taxes because of that. The agenda is now really, now that we have automated and systemized the process of bringing clients and onboarding them and doing service delivery, now it's more like turning the shift to education, because we were able to grow our firm because I've been able to educate them on social media about a lot of things they can do in their business. And now I just want to multiply that education. And I've found that the best source to do that is YouTube.
Right. And you could even do like the YouTube shorts that kind of like cut it up and make it more digestible. I know that the videos are like relatively short, but I'm sure you could probably utilize it in that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. YouTube shorts have been a game changer for our industry as well.
Right. Well, excited to see more from you, Boris. You heard him. Go check out his website. Definitely give a subscribe to his YouTube channel and his LinkedIn as well. I'll make sure to include all that when this goes live. So again, Boris Musheyev and a CPA, everyone, thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for cultivating a culture of innovation within your business. But before we go, Boris, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
If they'd like to learn more about tax savings and strategies and really advisory services, they can check out our website. And our website is borismtax.com. That's Boris as my first name, M for my last name, and tax, borismtax.com. Or if you just look up Boris Musheyev, first guy is probably going to come up, is right there. That'll be me.
All right. Sounds good, Boris. Thank you again, and we'll catch you all next time. All right.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.
Hi, Roman here. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Creating a Culture of Innovation. If you would like to be a guest on our podcast, you can apply at cacoi.nerdsupport.com/podcast. Did you find what we talked about today valuable? Please give it a like and share it on social media. Or if you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them and make sure to include the hashtag Creating a Culture of Innovation. We'd love to bring on a diverse group of guests. Since we're regularly putting out new content, subscribe and make sure you don't miss any episodes. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and it'd mean a lot to me and my team. Want to learn more about Nerd Support and how we can help you succeed with technology? Visit our website at nerdsupport.com or follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Nerd Support. Thanks for listening in, and we hope you'll stop by next time.